Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd. It's the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos talk about nerd shit. It's me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me is
Miguel Sanchez.
I'm Deadpool.
And every week we talk about news, movies, and what we're into, except not this week, buddy boy. This week we're continuing our Punch Drunk Nerd mini episodes. We've done 2 already. We've got 2 left, including this one. We are pretty busy. Right now I'm in Europe. So, I'm touring it out. I'm in Barcelona. But this is all pre-shot. So we're going to give you a quick little episode about the state of streaming.
Before we get into it, can I say just real quick, Luis, man, what a beautiful wedding. Okay.
Thank you, man. I thank you.
Maybe the best I've ever been to. Just so classic.
Yeah.
Classy. Sarah looked beautiful.
She did.
I can't wait to see the video that you guys pieced together.
That's right.
That's
10 out of 10.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're just so happy for you.
Well, I'm sorry about that one thing.
Yes.
Yeah. The murder.
The murder. But we're traveling. We're going to Europe. It's a long flight, and so we will be, I guess not streaming, but we will be using streaming services to watch a lot of stuff on the plane. So I figured let's talk about streaming services. There's a bunch. There's Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Apple TV, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Freevee, Prime Video. Am I missing anything? Crackle. What else do we got? Pluto TV. We got Shudder.
VHS.
We got VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, HD DVD. No. We're going to talk about streaming. Right away, I'm just going to start off. What streaming services are you watching? Like which ones do you use a lot? Which ones are
hands down? Hands down, I go with the capital H's, baby. Okay, I go to HBO. I go to Hulu. I think that's the end of them. Okay.
You know what? I've been putting my shows together. I've made a little list of all my shows, and I'm in the same place as you: HBO and Hulu.
Hulu for me is a seasonal thing. Okay, if TV is coming out, I'm on Hulu. Okay. I'm not above canceling my Hulu subscription, during the summer, especially now that the strike's happening, you know what I mean? It's like, there's just nothing on right now. So, but HBO, I keep all year long. Let's go.
What streaming services do you all have? Let's start with that question, because I just started recently doing that same thing too, Miguel, where I would keep it all the time. But recently I'm like, I'm not watching anything on that streaming service. Let me cancel it,
Yeah.
I know for me, it's HBO, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, and then Peacock and Apple TV. I will cancel off and on depending on
based on the show.
Based on the shows,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I have, right? I feel like I might be missing something else. Miguel, you have YouTube Red or YouTube TV or whatever, right? Like you have the ads.
Okay. All right. There's a difference in the things you just said. Okay.
And
what
I don't know. I'm not a YouTube person.
So,
I have Hulu Live TV. That's my package. Okay.
That's crazy because Hulu Live TV, baby, you're shelling out for that. Okay, dude.
Well, I'm getting Hulu with Disney Plus, with ESPN, all no ads, with Live TV.
The Live TV.
All bundled together.
Yeah, that's still pretty expensive.
Well, because I had Live TV with DirecTV when it was $35, and then it boosted all the way up to. Well, now it was boosting all the way up to like $85.90, and I was like,
"That's what I'm
out
saying."
Of control.
Yeah.
So I bundled Disney. When it's bundled all that together, it's not too bad. It's not too
bundled with Live. Say it now. How much do you pay a month for this bundle? No, I'm just fucking around.
me being bad or knowing what's in my bank account right now. I don't know.
You can just tell me later. I'm curious. So let me tell you. I'll tell you YouTube just real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
So first off, YouTube, obviously YouTube.com free ads. You go YouTube Premium, which is where we are. We used to pay like $15.99. They recently bumped it up to $18.99. This is a service that you were either on board or not on board for. We just happened to watch a lot of YouTube, and there was one day where I was like, subscribe, and I never looked back. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But there was definitely services like Hulu where I do, like, if I'm in my off season, I'll just do the ad tier Hulu because, I'm just like browsing. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
Now, you talked about YouTube TV and YouTube Red. I don't think YouTube Red is a thing anymore, or maybe I'm wrong. Like, YouTube Red was like the pre-premium. YouTube Red definitely includes the music aspect. So, like, if you used YouTube for like your Spotify
Right.
Pandora type music service. YouTube TV, that's that live TV service. There's a lot of streaming services that have that live tier. I don't love going to that because we're getting into that $70 ballpark, and it's like I don't watch sports enough to need the live TV, and I'd much rather just watch it on the next day ad free. You know what I mean?
Well, what's crazy is YouTube TV is the Sunday Ticket, where you could watch like all kinds of football. It used to only be on DirecTV, and they had a huge contract, and it wasn't until this year that YouTube TV got that contract and says, no, if you want to watch every football game, you go to YouTube and get the Sunday NFL Sunday Ticket, which I mean, now you don't need a satellite anymore. You don't have, you can just,
And good for you. If that is the content you were looking for, like, it is worth that service. I think a $70 price point, if you were looking for all of the sports live in the moment. I personally don't subscribe to that. It's just my preference, but I think it's a valuable service for what you're looking for. My problem is like, if you have Hulu, YouTube, HBO, Amazon, Netflix, and of all of those 5, 6, 7 streaming services, you also add in a couple of live tiers. I mean, you're spending a pretty penny every month on services alone like that. So, not for me.
Ed, I know you used to have the Criterion Collection as a streaming service as well.
I did, the channel.
The channel, but now what's your streaming situation?
Up until recently, I had Netflix. I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. My sister's ex-boyfriend caught on that we were still using his, and so we got booted off.
They're cracking down now.
Yeah, we haven't got Netflix again, but usually Netflix is definitely a top one for me. I've got Hulu, not live, but I will switch to Hulu live whenever there's like a World Cup on or something like that.
No, absolutely. In the same vein as if you're in the season of something you're watching, like you can flip up to it. I do like doing that.
Yeah. And then just switch it off before the next billing session. But so Hulu, Max, Netflix would be my top ones. Obviously Disney Plus, because I have a kid. We do have Apple TV, and Luis, we did just finish Ted Lasso season 3 finally. Beautiful, crying all through it. But other than that, we don't really use Apple TV a whole lot.
Yeah.
I've talked to you guys about my struggles with Peacock. I'm on the verge of getting rid of it. And then I have Prime Video, through which I have Paramount Plus and Showtime currently. I sometimes switch that up with Stars or whatever.
But those are bundles that you add to your Prime Video
into the streaming. Yeah, that's a good. That's kind of a good topic. Real quick, is like, is there a main service where you'd rather bundle all of the things together?
Prime.
Prime is for Ed. He's while he drinks his Stanley Cup. Okay, he's ready to go. I think Peacock also bundles Stars. You know what I mean? So and like kind of automatically. I would say Peacock, Paramount. Those are on the same streaming tiers. You know what I mean? I think Apple TV, for me personally, is the lower of all the tiers, because it just doesn't have the content is not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It doesn't draw me in. Do they have good things? Sure, but nothing that I'm
just like a handful of good original films and shows.
Yeah, but nothing that's like, really
good enough for you to like really come in for a bit and then just leave. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Ed, you were talking about Netflix. Oh no, Miguel, were you going to say something?
Nope.
Netflix. I'm curious about this. Now, I know everyone uses Netflix. It's like got a huge subscriber base. It's like the behemoth of streaming. But like, I really don't go on Netflix that much anymore.
Oh man,
like,
I'm ready.
It is just not the place I go. Like, it is Max, like you said, Max and Hulu. Hulu because I get immediate turnaround of episodes that recently aired. Max because of like, they actually have a lot of like those like hubs, you know, from Max,
TCM, Cartoon Network,
all that
DC.
Stuff. But Netflix, I just feel is just like, sometimes can be, I don't know.
Listen,
elevated YouTube. Sometimes it's just like too much content, too much.
Netflix. I don't want to overtalk it. Sorry.
Do it. I want to hear. This is what I want to hear. I want to hear.
there was a golden era for Netflix, okay, where they had everything because they were the streaming service. And you think back to a time where you logged into Netflix and you were like, God, thank God for Netflix because I can watch all of my stuff in one place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all of the services caught on to the game and started branching out to their own streaming services. And then Netflix had to do a lot of pivoting to like keep people.
Yeah.
But what happened, and I feel like this is a common consensus, or maybe it's just my opinion, and you can crucify me, but Netflix just started spending money for content because they said, if I have content, you'll stay. And I think what happened is we lost the thread for Netflix. You know what I mean? We wanted a place where we could watch our things, and we wanted a place that would surprise us with new things. And instead, the balance got kind of imbalanced. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely like a place that really runs on the algorithm. So it's just like, I don't know.
Think about
pumping content. And it's like, oh, a lot of people are interested in this. Like when the Great British Baking Show came out, which obviously like I'm watching that there, but then like, oh, let's do a show about people building houses. Let's do a show where they're designing houses. Let's do a show where they're designing dessert. Like just like they take that concept and then
also
replicate it into different
do it
things.
for like 10 different.
Yeah.
Netflix also did the whole like catered towards, how do I say this?
Young adult?
Not young adult is kind of what I want to say, but just kind of like that world of content. Wednesday, fucking, oh my God, I immediately forgot what I was going to say.
There's that.
But they do a lot of like young adult teen shows. And Kristen, she works from home. So there was a period of time where she's working and she's also got something on in the background. And I would come home and she'd be like, oh yeah, I just finished season 3 of some show. And I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know that thing existed. I feel like that. What are you talking about?
A Netflix show.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like
that's Netflix show,
But Netflix is this is the service that I constantly bring up and I go, do we want to just cancel this? And then I get downvoted and I get told no. But this is the one I could cut easily.
I'll make this argument for Netflix. They have the most fluid control of their.
This is a good.
What, you disagree?
No, I want to talk about this. This is good.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think that as far as just operationally, it is the smoothest.
It's clean,
most organized, most direct, going between things. Before we get more into that, I think Netflix consistently has a good selection of films, and I know all the movies rotate through all the streaming sites, whatever.
Yeah.
But they do make a point to have pretty great movies on there. And as far as we were talking about, I know this isn't like, some of these aren't necessarily Netflix productions, but like you mentioned the Great British Bake Off. That's where I go to watch Great British Bake Off, The Crown. Recently,
The Crown. Yeah.
Dairy Girls was a big thing for me. Chef's Table. I love Chef's Table. They have some really good documentaries, but there's also, that isn't to say that there's an overabundance of content that it gets lost. It gets lost, yeah. Squid Game, I never watched, but I know that was a big deal when that came out. You could throw a rock and hit like a big popular series that they've done. But I think that they do still have that kind of prestige of just being the original streaming site and having using that time to have fine-tuned.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's not just like the notoriety. They have had the time to actually work that.
Right. Whereas all of these other ones, you're just like, what?
They were learning. They were learning as they went.
Going through Hulu is still super frustrating for me.
Okay.
I like Hulu. I obviously use it a lot. I use Hulu a lot. But I think, fuck me, if you get beyond that first homepage,
I don't know. I think with all of the streaming services, if you looked at all of them, I think Hulu is one of the better ones. Okay. I do agree that Netflix, what was I going to say earlier? The user interface is cleaner in Netflix again because they've had the time to really fine tune that. And I think there's some really big services that have dropped the ball recently. I think HBO is one of the worst. They've got content. They've got content out the ass, dude. That's so good.
I would love to go into the show right now. I would like to click this to go into the show. And then it just plays the episode. I'm like, no. I don't want to go into the episode. I want to go into the show and see all the episodes.
Here's
very annoying.
Here's what I hate. All right. I'm going to use Disney Plus as an example real quick. Okay. I like Disney Plus for the content. Okay. They have shows. My kid loves Bluey. I want to watch Bluey. I want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, Avengers, whatever. They have the content that I want to see. Okay. But absolutely, they go to the only time you want to be like, if I was watching Bluey and there's like 100 episodes of Bluey and I want to pick an episode, but I don't want to search for Bluey, because if I search for Bluey, I've got to click to get to it, plus type it all in.
Yes.
They show you your continue watching. You click the episode that you're continue watching. They immediately start you at the moment you are watching. And it's like, no, I don't want to continue watching immediately. I want to click on the series and decide, do I want to watch this episode again or now? Or do I want to find another episode to watch?
Which is why I love Netflix's.
And
that's what I'm select, like, you continue watching, it pulls it up, but you still have that side menu.
Yes.
And you can scroll down immediately into the rest of the episodes. And that is just fucking smooth as hell.
That's great.
Nobody has topped that yet.
The idea is that you want to have the fewest amount of clicks between what you desire in your soul and actually physically making it happen. And so if I have to jump, click to find the thing, you've lost me. It's already shot way down here. I'm not interested anymore. You know what I mean?
There's a lot. I mean, yes. Okay. I have let's talk about gripes here, because I'm going to say Netflix. Sometimes I watch a Netflix show and then I'm like, God, where is that continue watching tab? I'm going down, and it's just like 7 rows, 8 rows. Sometimes it's gone. Like, I don't even know what's happening.
You're talking about the main. You're talking about on the main screen.
I've been watching a bunch of shows and I can't find the continue watching, and it's just like I'm trying to come back and watch it and then it's missing. And then for HBO Max or just Max, like I want to go
2 down.
Right, I want to go into these hubs. Sometimes it's 2 down, sometimes it's 8 down, but sometimes, and for Max, I want to go into the hubs. You know, I want HBO, I want DC or this, and like Disney Plus has that where it's like Marvel, Star Wars, this, which I like,
and it's at the top. It's like the header,
which is what I want HBO to. Well, HBO Max did that, but Max got rid of that, and now it's really complicated. And then Disney Plus, sure, it has these hubs. But then once I go in, it's like, what is going on? Like, where it's just kind of like
I was blown away. We talked about this last year when I Am Groot came out. That you were talking about how you clicked on I Am Groot. I know.
I'm so upset. Don't even get me started. I hate this shit.
But I just recently clicked on it. Okay, so just to recap, you were complaining, and I agree that you would click on an episode of I Am Groot, and then that would just be the end of it. You would have to go search the next episode.
Yeah.
What a bullshit! What a bullshit interaction that was.
So the show's I Am Groot, and it was like 6 releases. Instead of it being under one like umbrella of the show, it individualized.
And that's bullshit.
They did the same thing with Assembled, which is like the behind the scenes of Marvel. When it first came out, the first 3 episodes were under the umbrella of Assembled, and then as each movie came out after that, they were individually
with the
placed.
movie, right?
They're individually placed. And so I was like, well, goddamn, I want to see all of the Assembled in one place. And they spread it out too much. And it's just like, I need to customize the organization a bit.
It's like they were inflating the content. You know what I mean? As opposed to it just being the one thing that it is. They were like, no, it's multiple things. Louis, you'll be happy to know if you go see season 2 of I Am Groot, it's all collected. Okay. You're going to be ready to go. All right.
Thank God.
Wait, is season 2 I Am Groot out?
Yeah. I just looked at it today.
We were watching it the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Me and Lily.
I say today, I mean a few weeks back.
Man, I'm so out of it. Okay. I just got married, so I have an excuse. Okay, so closing thoughts, streaming services, anything else you guys wanted to bring up, like last minute things?
I feel like I said my piece. I will be here for another hour if I keep talking.
Honestly, this is only the beginning. I feel like we will return to talk about the state of streaming. It's constantly changing. And Ed, anything else? I just called you out.
Yeah.
Why?
No, streaming
Also,
is
Ed.
okay. But we,
Oh, can a while back, Luis, I said something about we went to the library and the library had like a whole section of DVDs and I was like, what should I rent? And Luis was like, everything's on streaming. You don't have to rent anything. And I was like, oh, okay, you're right. Cut to last week I was in the store and Forrest ran up to a Spider-Man DVD display and it was like Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man, and they're all physical content.
Yeah.
And it was the tiniest little display in the entire store. I couldn't believe how tiny it was. And I literally said, no one buys physical content anymore. Come on.
I
was on some Louis shit. I was like, no one watches this. Let's move. Let's go.
Well, you know what's funny is like, okay, there are steel books, which could be collectibles, and they're behind the scenes, which they started integrating behind the scenes stuff a little bit more.
Or like, the Criterion collection.
Right. But this is, which is interesting, and I'll close with this, is Disney Plus with their Marvel movies. You get to choose between the theatrical release or the IMAX release, and you get to have a bigger like presentation. And those are things sometimes with Nolan movies that I wish I had, where I wish I was on what's it called? Max, or I guess Peacock, because that's where Oppenheimer will be. I wish I would have the option to say, I want the IMAX version. Because when you get a Nolan movies, they'll just give you the straight up trailer version, which I don't like. I want to see. What? Are you against this, Ed? Do you not want to see the IMAX version?
I just don't see the difference because it's not like your TV is changing. It is literally just like
the ratio changes,
the ratio
though, right?
Change, right?
Yeah, but you see more information. You see more information. I'm going to talk with you.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if I've tried. I think I tried it with Eternals. The visual masterpiece that was Eternals.
That crowd pleaser.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll save those thoughts. I'll do some. I'm going to do some research and I'll get back to you.
Okay, we'll get back to me. Listen, this has been our third out of 4 Punch Drunk Minis. Tune in next week when we do our little Oscar movie roundup. We finish the summer box office. So next week, we're going to talk. It's Oscar season. We're entering into Oscar season. So we're going to do a little Oscar movie roundup. But until next time, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez. And with me is
Miguel Sanchez.
Ed Poole.
That's right. And until next time, cousin, you are Knuff. Bye-bye. Ed, have you warmed up to that yet or no?
I don't like the cousin bit. I like the Knuff.
Okay, all right.
I appreciate the kiss.
I love the cousin bit. I want cousin every time.